Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's me, Tyra, and today we're gonna play in some makeup. I do really enjoy playing in makeup, and I want to start documenting my progression with getting better with it. I'm definitely gonna turn this into a series because I want to be more confident with it, and hopefully you guys can chat in the comments with me. We can talk about things that I should do better on or products I should try. So let's go ahead and get started. Starting off with the Morphe M401 brush, I do start with my brows, and I take the e.l.f. brow lift pomade. That's what I use to slick my brow hairs up, or going in with a pencil or a brow pomade. I'm gonna use the Morphe chocolate mousse to actually fill in my brows. I go in between using a mousse and a pencil sometimes, but I think the reason why I still haven't found like my signature brow technique is because I'm still trying to figure it out. Sometimes I think pencils work best for me. Sometimes I think actual pomades work best for me. I don't really know, but that's the whole point of this. We're figuring it out. Brows are actually my biggest struggle area, and I know for most people it is because for me it takes the longest time to do. Like out of all my makeup steps, I spend the most times on brows because if my brows don't look right, my entire makeup won't look right. Once I get my brows to as best as I like it, I go in with a concealer. This is the House Labs concealer. It is closer to my skin tone, and I go in with a flat round brush to carve only the bottom part of my brow. I've noticed in the past, every time I've tried to carve the top and the bottom, it looks a little too like boxy, and it makes it look a little more dramatic than I actually prefer my brows to look. I like my brows to look very soft. I don't like really dark brows. I don't like boxy brows. I don't like brows that look too harsh at the front. That's why I like to kind of fluff it out in the beginning. So I know what I do and I don't like, but it's just kind of hard to execute it when you are still practicing and trying to figure out the best technique for yourself. To buff out the concealer under my brows, I'm going in with one of my new brushes I actually got during the Sephora sale. This is the Sephora Pro Brush 57. It's small, dense, and very compacted, and that's what I like about it. I don't like seeing harsh lines of concealer under my brow, so that's why I make sure I try to blend it out as best as possible. This is when things start to get a little scary because I'm still also trying to figure out my best complexion base prep. I'm using the Danessa Myricks Universal Balm because I am a very oily person. But I also should have paired it with a hydrating primer so my skin doesn't look so like dry looking, because I believe the Danessa Myricks kind of mattifies your face and it's for people who do have those oily, problems. After primer, it's a must that I go in with a spot concealer. This is the NARS Soft Matte Spot Concealer, and it works so well because the concealer is full coverage, and this is the only product in my routine that I know that I am sure about. Like I need to use that product to cover up my dark spots and hyperpigmentation. If I just use regular concealer, it doesn't give the same effect, but I do like the NARS one. I am a person who does underpaint because I feel like it just works best with my face. When I try to do it like the regular way of putting foundation and things on first, it looks really muddy. I like to go in with the underpainting method because I can spot like what product needs to be where instead of like just adding a bunch of products to my face and building on top of it. It just doesn't work. Okay, so I'm going in with the Morphe bronzer. This is a new one for me, and I think Morphe just dropped it and I want to try it out, but this is a cream bronzer stick, and I'm going in with the Sephora 88 Pro bronzer brush to buff it out. This is also a new brush for me as well, so I'm really testing out two products at the same time. I am trying to see if I like it. I think so far I do like it. It looks good right here, but as we continue the video, you will see where it goes left really quickly. But on this side, I think I brought the bronzer down a little too much because it looks a little harsh and it looks a little long on my face. And then I go in with the Real Techniques brush to contour my nose. After I go in with bronzer, I like to go in with concealer under the eyes. This is the Born This Way multi concealer. I have a bunch of concealer, so I don't always use the Born This Way concealer, but this is just the one that I use today. The main part is that I do go in with this step after I do bronzer. And that's another thing. I have so many different concealers with different undertones, so my makeup sometimes always just looks different under my eyes. As far as foundation, I have a bunch of foundations as well, but I chose this one from Maybelline because it's like my drugstore foundation. I feel like using my expensive foundation for this video because I wasn't actually going anywhere. I was just practicing. With the underpainting technique, I basically put the foundation everywhere where the bronzer and concealer is not. By this time, it's time to go ahead and blend out the concealer under my eye so it doesn't get too dry. Lately, I've been using a sponge because a sponge makes it look a little bit more seamless versus a brush, but I do go back and forth between a sponge and a brush. Sometimes it just depends on the mood. And then you're gonna see me go back in with the bronzer to kind of keep that definition carved out because I feel like adding the concealer and foundation kind of mushes it all together. And then I go in with a little bit of concealer on my forehead and on my nose to still add that dimension in the middle of my face. I do feel like I should have probably used a lighter concealer because that concealer looks like it kind of just like blends into the rest of my face. Like it is a lighter concealer, but it's not as light as it could be to give me a little bit more dimension than what this concealer has given me already. I think it's fine for under the eyes, but on the forehead and stuff, it needs to be a little bit lighter. You also saw me use a spray by CoverGirl. It was like a milky, hydrating, like refreshing makeup spray. I honestly just need to work on my sprays and when to hydrate my face so my face doesn't start to look super dry. But I went ahead and went in with that milky, spray I got from CoverGirl. I was actually sent that, so I was just using it. But I'm gonna try to make sure I spray a little earlier so my face can start to look a little bit more refreshed than it is. When it comes to eyeshadow, I really want to learn how to do my eyeshadow a lot more, and I do try to wear eyeshadow every single time I do makeup because I don't have all these expensive eyeshadow palettes just not to use them. This was me just playing in something, trying to do a little gray silvery moment. It's definitely not my best work, and I don't really even think I liked it, but I just wanted to like see it through and just, kind of get past it. Also kind of want to learn what colors work well with what, because I feel like with eyeshadow, you just have to know what colors look good with colors in order to like do a fun little cool eye moment. I just thought the gray and the silver and the black would look good. I don't know. I'm just trying stuff. And really quick, I was playing in the L'Oreal eyeshadow sticks. They sent them to me in PR, so I just wanted to test them out, honestly. Moving on to the current step, I'm going in with blush, and I'm using the NARS Taj Mahal blush. It's a really pretty orange. I didn't put too much because I kind of wanted to be less on the blush because I did do kind of a harsh eyeshadow look. And I try to put the blush in between where that bronzer and that concealer meets. And then I go in with a lighter concealer. I actually got this from Any Given Sunday because she uses the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer just in the inner corner and praline to brighten it up a little bit. Honestly, I really don't even know if this looks that good because the bottom concealer, which was the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and then topping it with the Huda Beauty concealer, I don't know if these colors, if these concealer undertones mesh well. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe it looks fine, but I don't know. I'm then going in with the Kosas Cloud Set Powder in Peach to go ahead and set my under eye so it doesn't crease. And then I go in with the loose powder. I have so many different loose powders, but I chose to use the Juvia's Place Cookie Dough, which I never use that one, but I wanted to test it out because I don't have it just for the heck of it sitting in my vanity. And I go ahead and I start to bake. I feel like when I do harsh eyeshadows, I need to always wear a lash. So that's why I just went ahead and put these lashes on. So my face doesn't look weird with this gray silver eyeshadow and then no lashes. I do go ahead and sweep off the baking powder with the Micro Smooth powder by Sephora, and I use this new powder brush that I got from Sephora as well. It's a Pro Collection brush. I just don't know what number it is. I'll put it on the screen. This is where things really start to take a left because I used the House Labs bronzer, and I think it's too dark, and now the sides of my face where I put bronzer at looks super streaky and super dark. This entire look honestly needs to go in the trash. It probably should have went a long time ago. I do add some more orange blush. This one is by NYX. And I'm not gonna lie, at this point I do feel discouraged because I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder, I'm looking at myself in my vanity, and I just know it doesn't look that great, but I'm trying to stop getting to the point where I just quit in the middle of things because it's not working out and just see it through because you never know if you like it. This is what I think I need to work on. I think I need to work on my blending skills because my bronzer looks really harsh. I think I need to work on the placement of products and being more careful about where I place the product so it doesn't bleed into other products. And I think I need to also work on the undertones of my concealers and the shades of my bronzer because the powder bronzer, as soon as I put that on top of it, because honestly, that Morphe bronzer was already pushing it. And then putting that dark House Labs bronzer on top of it just pushed it even further. And I also feel like my face looks super powdery as well. Like my face never looks like a lot of the girls whose face looks super hydrated and like all their products look really melted and blended so nicely. Mine just look kind of like patchy and powdery and dark. This is not my favorite look. I'm open to a lot of critiques. If you see this video, please watch it and drop down in the comments what I should do better on. Even my supporters, if you guys are into makeup, let me know. What do you think looks bad? What do you think messed it up? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we're gonna keep this series going. I will see you guys with another video soon. Bye. Mwah.